It's not even close to May, but yeah.
It's pretty close to May.
It's 2 months ago.
This is weird. It feels like it's close to May, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is, what is it, July?
My brother Christ, it hasn't been May for 2 months.
Dude, this feels like the beginning of summer to me.
Oh yeah, because you just got freed.
I have unlocked freedom now.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
no school, no job, a lot of money, a lot of freedom.
Meanwhile, me and Marcus are both on the full-time work grind now.
Yep. And I
the difference between you and me is I love my job.
Oh, true. We did trade. Y'all got hella busy. Meanwhile, I got the opposite. Oops.
Yeah,
freedom.
Yeah, but luckily I'm making like, because I'm in a salaried position now, right? I have like it's like the American dream, you know, like that. I'm lying, but you know, I am in a salaried position. So I'm making enough money where I get to pretend like I don't make money off of YouTube. So like my YouTube money is completely negligible, if that makes sense. And because of that, my YouTube money is now going to be funneled directly back into YouTube.
Yes, let's go. Investment. Is that why you're looking at a monitor?
No, I already have a monitor.
Oh, you already got it. I'm stupid. But still very hype.
Big things are happening. Marcus is getting another monitor. That's it.
That's it.
Okay, now hold on. I actually have big news.
Oh?
That I cannot share yet because it's not done.
Damn, big news.
Oh.
So just be on the lookout for big news.
Be on the lookout. All right, I'll keep it on my radar. I just see like a massive explosion in the distance. That must be
you hear some earthquake shit. Yo, we don't get those here.
That right there. That was my friend Michael.
That was my good friend Michael.
Every time I do like a big stuff coming from me, I think about doing the thing and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and I never end up doing it.
Yeah.
It's
motivation hard.
Yeah.
Handshake.
So I was like, when you tweeted that shit out, I was like, hey, can I get some of that energy, please? I'm begging.
Simply quit your job.
No. I don't. Now listen to me here. I don't recommend quitting y'all jobs at me.
I'm not gonna quit my job. No shot. Not until like, I don't know. I need to have saved up enough money to like live for like at least 6 months before I even think of quitting a job.
And that's and that's what I wanted to say is I did that. I did the I can't quit this job forever, obviously. I'm going to need to have money again eventually. But so the thing is, I can ride what I've made so far.
Oh, true.
Into making something that will generate money, kind of like what Marcos was saying with the whole YouTube thing. I'm not saying YouTube specifically, but I'm saying, thing that will passive income.
How much do you have in savings, roughly? Like, don't tell me the exact number because that's very personal.
Yeah.
But just let me know if I'm getting warmer or colder. 1,000.
Warmer, I suppose. I mean, like, you get
2,000
warmer. Like, I'm not gonna say it specifically. But I got enough to do what I am planning to do. And basically, the reason I quit was like, I don't know when I'm going back.
Yeah, I just want to, like, as your friend, I just want to make sure you're not jumping into it without like a safety net.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I've made the safety net already.
Hype.
Yeah.
Like that's what I've got right now. Is I put the net up. That way, when I jump, I know I'm not gonna hit what I'm going for.
Yeah.
But it'll at least become an entity that can exist without me putting exclusively work into that. You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm not even gonna talk about it like too much in specific detail because y'all will see.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Welcome.
Michael's gonna get in on the drug trade.
Get in.
Oh shit!
He's selling kids.
I've been in. No, I'm kidding.
Welcome to
Get
Route
in,
One
hello?
podcast, where we're talking about life stuff. I'm sorry.
Life advice on the Route 1 podcast today.
Maybe not
Quit your job.
advice.
No, I'm kidding.
Maybe less advice and more just like, yeah, this is what we're doing. What's going on? Marcus has started a full-time job. You know, I've been on my full-time job for a while now. Ash has an internship.
A paid internship.
Whoa. And Michael just quit his job, so I was gonna make a big point of, like, because I didn't realize you quit your job, that, like, we're all fucking working. We're all on the grind, dude.
All on the grind. So here's the thing. I grinded, past tense.
Ground.
I ground my feet up, bro. I traded feet for money. Because these things do not work anymore.
I don't think you should do that. I don't think you should trade feet for money.
Apparently,
I mean, actually, you know what? You do you.
Apparently, when the skin under the nail turns black, that's called internal bleeding. I didn't know that, so...
Yeah, you need... It is fucked up, the kind of work shoes that they make people wear. Like,
I stopped wearing those because they were doing that.
yeah.
Wear gym shoes. At some point, just wear gym shoes.
Yeah.
No, I did, literally. After the initial week of, they were like, okay, yo, everybody wear work shoes. It's now mandatory requirement. The safety team was, like, hawking people for, like, a week. And then when they disappear, it was like, oh, okay. I'm just going to wear normal-ass shoes now. What are you going to do about it? I got pulled over one time. I got pulled over one time by one of the safety people, like a month after doing that too, and they were like, "Oh, hey, by the way, are those safety shoes?" And I was like, "Yep." And I pick my feet up, or pick one of my foot up, and I like slam it against the floor, like just the tips of it, and I'm like, "It's got a steel toe in it." Dude, my acting skill unparalleled. Like
that hurt.
That shit hurt like fucking hell. But he didn't know because I had a fucking smile on my face. I was like, yep, steel toe.
Yep, steel toe. Don't worry about
Dude,
it.
you can buy like some crazy steel toe shoes that are just like super, super stylish. It's really nice. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, they're called like
there are some that are just like athletic shoes.
Yeah, it's just like, they're just like sneakers, but they've got a steel cap on them.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta wear
No cap, in fact.
No cap?
On a stack.
Yeah.
Pretty my guy.
Attacker?
Dude, the feeling of, like, having, like, you say something, it's like a jerk, and it's, like, also sort of like a reference, and you, like, it's more of a, you're, like, casting out, like, a line, you know, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna say something, and hopefully somebody gets the reference. And then somebody gets the reference. Ooh. Like, I feel like it's like an unbreakable bond at that point, you know?
Oh yeah.
The
other day,
That's my big thing.
we were playing Unite last night. Katru, like I said something about Blissey, and Katru just said "desearing egg," and I lost my shit. And I feel like that's one of those moments.
It's a desearing egg, dude.
Desearing egg. That is such a strange video. I love that video though.
It's pretty good.
Desearing egg. Desearing egg. It's only
Welcome to Route 1 podcast, where we all like hard-boiled eggs. We
True.
talk about eggs, and nothing but eggs. Michael, what kind of eggs you eat this morning?
I was literally unironic. Oh, actually, technically this was the morning.
No, wait, hold on. Finish that sentence.
I was thinking about hard-boiled eggs last night at work, and I have no idea why, because it's been so long since I had a hard-boiled egg. But I did actually eat eggs in the morning. I had McDonald's.
Yo!
McDonald's.
Because I worked until like 5:30 a.m. and then had to drive back, and I got home at 7 o'clock in the morning. So I was like, I need food.
Yeah.
What's open?
Dude, McDonald's breakfast hits different sometimes. That shit can be really good.
I thought of you when
Yeah!
when I ate a hash brown. Don't ask me why. I think it's because you posted a like a air fryer hack or something the other day.
Yeah, okay.
I was like, even while I was thinking it, I was like, why is Ash the first person to come?
for the air fryer owners in our fan base, I suppose. I went to the grocery store and we found these like they're hash brown patties essentially, and they're frozen. but you can just make them in the air fryer 6 minutes on each side at like what do we put it at, like 345 or something? You just put it for 6 minutes, flip it another 6 minutes, and you just get a hash brown. Dude, it's amazing. I love air fryers. Why are they so useful?
You know, I'm gonna keep it real with you, Ash. As an air fryer owner, I'm not gonna do that.
I'm gonna do that.
As a person,
no. Smart. That way, I don't have to go to the This makes it so that I don't have to go to the McDonald's drive-thru in literally 5:45 a.m. in the morning while it's still light out because it's summer now, and some dickhead has their brights on behind me, so I have the wrath of the sun god in my rear view.
Hey, Michael, question.
What up?
How long is your commute to work, or how long was it?
I don't want to talk about it because it's an hour
Is it
and a half.
like an hour? Okay, so you work at the one that I am probably gonna live by in a month.
Oh shit! Yeah. Really?
Yeah, I'm you know, I got my job and I'm making money from both YouTube and like my job, so I'm saving up right now to move out with a buddy of mine.
Pipe.
And the town that we're living in has an Amazon facility, and I'm fairly certain if you're driving over an hour to work, then that's probably that one.
I'm gonna Marcos message.
Hey, can I sleep over this tonight?
the Route 1 sleepover.
Dude. Okay.
Hey, I mean, shit. Before you move out, we gotta hang out. I've just been slacking on that like crazy. So.
Yeah.
What do you mean we don't work at the same one, or we're not going to the same one?
Oh, okay.
I haven't even heard of that town that you just sent me.
Oh, dude, the one I sent you is in the middle of fucking nowhere. What the fuck? The one you sent me is like closer to me.
Why did you not work there?
No, well, okay. That is a very valid question.
Okay, regardless, I'm gonna end up closer to you, so.
Because an hour and a half is an insane commute that I don't recommend to anybody.
Yeah.
They had a nice-ass bonus, and the facility that they had also made it so that you don't have to lift as much. So, like, it's a win-win.
Oh, nice.
I just didn't know the gas would get so expensive on the while I was working there.
Yeah.
I only have to pay $75 a tank for gas. You know, that sounds like a lot, but I'm talking to Ash right now, so I only have to pay $75 a tank for gas.
What does talking to me have to do with it?
Well, you live in, like, California. So
that's true.
Your gas prices looked like this before.
It was so funny when I was seeing people post photos like, oh my god, it's over $4. I'm like, that's normal here. What the fuck? Oh no.
You know, I don't mean to get political, right? But
California's ass. No, you can you can say that. It's okay.
I like to make jokes at my buddies whenever gas prices go up. I'm like, Joe Brandon, your days are numbered. Joe Brandon, you messing with my gas, and apparently England's. How is your satanic reach far enough to reach England?
England already has their own Satanism problem. It's England.
What?
I don't like it there. It's scary.
What are you talking?
Was anyone else's?
I have not heard of this.
British people. They're very scary.
That's it.
Was anyone else's family? Was anyone else's family like Pokemon? That's the devil.
No, but
my
I knew
family
people who did that.
bought me a Pokemon game.
Yeah. My first Pokemon game I got after I had to get a filling at the dentist. That's the Ash lore. And because I did it and I didn't like make a fit, they're like, here is a Pokemon game. That was Soul Silver. That game is now worth like $200.
Yeah.
Dude, I just bought a copy of Soul Silver.
Yeah, I saw that. That was hype.
$105.
My dog took a bite of my Soul Silver copy. So that's
same!
Dude,
Did
guess
we talk
what I
about
did?
this
yeah,
before?
I think we talked
about this before. Okay, we both...
Guess how good of a Soul Silver player I am.
I want to eventually.
My second Pokemon was Dunsparce, and I didn't wait till I got Rock Smash. I encountered
jumped out of her chair.
I encountered 203 Geodudes.
Yep.
Dude, I don't think I've ever heard Ash go from 0 to 100 like that before.
Listen,
the hype was hilarious.
I love my son. I love my son so much.
That's so hype. No, that's so based.
My first Dunsparce experience was in a Heart Gold Soul Silver because I'm like, this Pokemon's really cute. I'm gonna use it because I know it can get Glare, and then I teach it Headbutt, and then it is annoying, so I can just cheese my way through stuff. And then once my other Pokemon start evolving and start getting past it, I'll probably box it and switch it out with something else. And then it never fell off. And so I just stuck with him, my little guy.
What's the opposite of you fell off? You stayed on.
You stayed
you
on.
got back on that horse.
You got back on that horse.
You know what they say? When life gives you lemons, you eat that horse.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So true.
You know what? Kind of spitting. Horses are scary.
Dude, speaking of scary horses, let's talk about Calyrex. Just kidding. I don't want to talk about Pokemon. So,
well, I could tell you the story about how I named a horse, like a living, breathing horse, Shadow the Hedgehog.
Why did you do that to him?
We'll get back to that when it becomes interesting. So Calyrex, right?
Wow! Wow!
Calyrex, it's part of its video game, right? It's called
I'll have you know, Shadow the Hedgehog can use Astral Barrage, okay? So, like...
And everybody knows that there's a new Pokemon game coming out this November.
Yes.
Leaks.
Oh shit, we got leaks to talk about.
Yeah,
no, wait, let Marcos finish his story. I want to save the leak stuff until, like, I want to wait a bit, because I want to be able to say, like, here's spoilers, we're going to discuss the leaks, and then that way people can actually watch the episode.
Alright, so here's spoilers. We're going to discuss the leaks.
Oh, we're not saving it to the end? Okay.
Brady, just mark a chapter called Spoilerland.
I haven't been doing chapters. I should probably do that.
Cool. You only got to do one chapter, and it just says Spoilerland.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry.
All right. So everyone who doesn't want to get spoilers, I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna finish. No. I'm gonna start a sentence right now, and I'm gonna finish it after the spoilers end. So Brady, I need you to make sure the timestamp goes back on to the point where, like, I need to make sure the timestamp ends at the begin at, like, midway through my sentence, and then after the spoilers, I'm gonna start my sentence up again, and they just get one continuous flow.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
We're in Spoilerland right now.
Okay. So let's start my sentence to say goodbye to everyone who doesn't want leaks and spoilers. So rather than talk about leaks and spoilers, we are going to talk about the fact that all right, and there you go. Now you can mark it off there. And when we're done talking about spoilers, we'll go there. Okay.
Also, I see what you're doing. Smart.
Yeah. There you go. So, isn't it crazy how Ash dies in this game?
What the fuck? Where did that come from?
Bro, I don't even know what the fucking.
I was talking about Ash Ketchum.
Yeah, I'm talking about. That's what I was thinking. I don't know what's going on, Marcus. What is this bit?
All right. Well, no, the bit's over. We're just talking about the spoilers now.
Yeah. Mechanic?
Right, so
hype.
Yeah, mechanic.
It's going to get infinitely more funny in the actual episode when Brady doesn't edit any of that.
And everyone's just getting spoilers. Like, I can't wait for Spoilerland to start. And they're like, hold on.
There was no spoilers.
Let's just talk about the mechanic. Guys, before we describe the mechanic to the viewers, say I if you think this is probably the most balanced mechanic yet. 1, 2, 3. I
don't fucking know.
Michael,
it's not out yet.
What, Michael? No,
it's not out
he doesn't
yet.
know
Why would I
is.
know that if it's not out yet? Hello?
You know what? Listen, just in concept, do you think it's probably the most balanced one yet? Just conceptually.
I think they're all kind of balanced in their own
Brady
way. I don't know.
From the call. He just called Dynamax balanced.
You know me? Do you know who you're talking to?
Yes, I know who I'm talking to. But I just thought that maybe for one day you could grow up.
Oh my goodness. That is insane.
Grow up, Michael.
Michael, we are 23. We can stop Dynamaxing.
Dude, I'm gonna be week 1 of Gen 9 VGC, I'm gonna be like, oh, this mon's cool. I wish it had max airstream. And then you can make that fucking, okay,
Michael.
Grandpa, let's go to bed now.
Michael, we're 11 now. We don't.
We don't say poop, we say crap.
We don't Dynamax. We crystallize,
So
dude.
here's the other thing,
We
by the way.
We scrungleize.
Scrungleize! I'm calling it that. I'm calling
There's-
it that. I'm calling it scrungalization.
There's scrungalization, right? There's that mechanic of like whatever. We'll get into what it does later, but there's also apparently another one, right? There's
is
like
there?
That
there's
one,
two.
that one. Well, it is. They're calling the league guys calling them both gimmicks, but let's be honest. I don't think
Isn't
that
a
we would
battle
classify it. Yeah, it's a type of Pokemon gimmick in the same way that we have regional forms. It's another
the thing that I
classification.
called happening, the
and
thing that I
Ultra
might
Yeah.
have called happening,
Yeah,
smile.
yeah, and so
here's the deal. We have one battle gimmick every generation, except for Gen 7, where they carried over Mega because we would have cried if they didn't. This game has the battle gimmick, and it has 2 new classifications of Pokemon, sort of like how we had regional variants in Gen 7 and onwards, and we had Ultra Beasts.
Yeah.
That was a classification of Pokemon, a classification of legendaries. We
makes
have
sense.
those. We have two of those, or kind of. We have 3 supposedly.
So there's gonna
So-
be.
Past and ancient forms. Those are like 2. And then there's what I want to call convergent evolution forms, which you can call them regional fakes. That's what like the leakers calling it. So the whole concept is that like, hey, it's a Jigglypuff, but it's not. It just really, really looks like a Jigglypuff, but it's a little bit off and it has a different name.
Yeah. That's what they were saying. Is that also that Amoonguss form that we were seeing? Like, it's not
That one
an
supposedly
Amoonguss?
is a past form. That one
That's a
supposedly
past
is
form?
Amoonguss.
Okay.
So to me,
I'm not
it
very
feels
clear.
like the way that I read things was that there is one gimmick, right? You go
Mm-hmm.
forward or backward in time, right? What that does to a Pokemon looks different if you go forward, or what that does to a Pokemon looks different if you go backward, right? Not aesthetically, not visually or whatever. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But like the mechanic there is that give me a Pokemon. Take an Eevee. If you do whatever,
I think Eevee's a bad example.
this one mechanic, right? Outside of battle changes something to do with a Pokemon, and then that's the past one, right? Mm-hmm. And then branch from that same mechanic is also future version, right?
Yeah. I think that's how it is, but we've only seen past ones.
To me, that's
Yeah.
two. I'm calling that 2 mechanics in my head.
No,
From
it's
what
like
I
there's...
I
understand,
feel like
it's not
they
a
do
mechanic
different
at all.
things.
It isn't
It's
From
not
what
a
I understand,
mechanic, it's like
not a
regional
mechanic at all.
forms.
Yeah,
It's just
I'm
new
not-
evolutions.
It's just a Pokemon.
Yeah, it's a Pokemon. It's a classification of Pokemon. You don't do it to them.
This
it
is going
just
to be,
is.
dude. Week 1 of this game is going to be fucking hell to explain it to people that don't know what's going on competitively.
Well,
because,
here's the-
we're
here's
gonna
the
get it
thing.
The thing is, you
immediately, but,
don't
like-
make it a past form in battle. You catch the past form and then
Yeah,
you
it's like a
use it.
regional
and
form.
that's what I'm saying is I think there's 2 things there. There's something that affects a Pokemon, and then there's also what you're saying, which is a regional thing.
That's the crystal
yeah.
thingy.
So there's
crystallized. We
technically
haven't
like
even explained
3
that
or
one yet.
something.
So here's the
I'm
thing,
talking
here's the
about
thing.
explicitly the in battle mechanic. Like
Yeah,
the
okay.
crystal
Yeah.
thing.
Here's the thing.
think
We're
there's 2 of
getting
those.
all of these we're getting all these leaks from like layers of translation, from misspellings, from
I think it's
game
Japanese
footage
to
that is
Chinese to English.
Yeah, we're getting it's so many layers. I just want to like put it out there. If we're just wrong, that makes sense. Like this
I
could
think-
all be very different.
The image leaks are very convincing.
The image leaks are very convincing. Apparently, the video of Sprigatito's evolution is fake, but I don't
the
believe it
video
because
one,
it looks
yeah.
really nice.
Yeah, the video one's fake, but there's another like Sprigatito final evolution.
It's
thing.
like a partial
Oh.
image. They only show you part
Oh,
of it.
that's the partial image one.
Because
Okay.
the leaker is having fun.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I saw the image of the one that's like partially the guy, and it as much as it's pixely, it looks kind of real. It looks like it does look like a Pokemon, and like the
Yeah.
style is very similar to the one that has been shown. But, which is why when I was looking at the thing that you sent in the topics chat, Ash, I was like, wait, this isn't the same guy. One of these is fake. One of these is wrong.
Also, the Among Us leak, the past Among Us leak, we didn't see the actual model. We saw the sprite for it, like the party sprite.
Yeah, so that
Which I actually found that to be more convincing.
Yeah,
to be honest.
That makes sense. I really like it. I think it's cute, and I hope that they make it some kind of like offensive Among Us instead of just more bulk.
I like
Please
that he's
don't
like a
make Among Us
mycelium,
bulky.
you know?
Yeah.
I think the sprite itself looks like kind of weird, but like that's just a personal thing, which makes me sort of like, I don't think this is real just because of the way that the sprite is. But I could be completely wrong. The thing about these leaks is that I tend not to try to believe any of them, even if they look convincing, because it's like, well, there is a very good chance that it's just not correct. It's not a thing.
Yeah.
However,
I feel like I've reached a point where I'm very like I'm very what's the word that I'm thinking of? Skeptical? Yeah. I'm very skeptical with most Pokemon leaks, and I tend to not believe any of them.
Yeah.
But for the one that I did make a video about, I was like, I'm like 99.9% sure this one's legit, just because the branding of the game, the trailer showed like a giant town square with a type wheel, and I'm like, oh, that's gonna be a gimmick.
That's that's where you go to change it, and then there's also like the fact that so many sources are saying this is the mechanic, and then and credible sources as well.
Riddler Coup confirmed one
I don't like Riddler Coup. I still don't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like any leaker, but Riddler Coup's the one with a track record of being entirely credible.
I guess, yeah.
But also, it's incredibly copium because I really want this to be the new mechanic because it is.
My god,
it is so good. Dude,
I like it. Okay, should we explain it? Should we explain it?
Can you explain it to me? Because I don't. Maybe I don't understand what the mechanic is because I read it, but I'm not going to.
I'm going to explain it as how I understand it. But there are some like caveats that we don't know the particulars of. You know?
And also layers of translation.
Yeah. So the general understanding of what the mechanic is you get a third stab boost. Think Steelworker, like a Delmise. And that is basically it. It's like you get Steelworker for any kind of type, but we don't know if it's tied to a gem. Like, imagine they bring back the flying gem and everything.
But it's permanent.
Like, so imagine you equip the flying gem. Yeah, so imagine you equip the flying gem to a Zigzagoon. And from now on, that Zigzagoon has stab on flying moves once you activate the ability. Once you activate, like, the crystallization over him. And it stops when you switch it out and you can't use it again.
Or
that's the
forced
understanding so far.
Or forced out, which is interesting.
Yeah, or forced out. So that means roar and stuff.
Roar Incineroar, woo!
Yeah, I like Roar Incineroar. I always thought that was like peak Incineroar
talking about
usage.
Fucking Incineroar. Why do you want that in the regional decks? What's wrong with you?
No,
supposedly it's not.
Supposedly
Leaks say that there are no other starters.
Supposedly there's no other starters. Yeah.
Good.
So.
Yeah.
I want my Typhlosion.
Yeah, I don't mind. I'd imagine that a lot of starters will come back as like Pokemon Home trends. Transportation or what is it called? Transfer.
I feel bad for Ash then.
Yeah. So
Ghost Fire Typhlosion coming when Incineroar Dark Fire comes.
So we don't know.
We know that like you basically get another stab, right? And that it ends when you get switched out and you can't do it again. But we don't know if it's tied to an item. We don't know if that item has to be like, I equipped the flying gem for my Pokemon, or if it's literally just like, I equipped the gem that lets me choose one of the typings to get a stab on, and it can be any one of these. I personally would very much prefer if it was like, I equipped the flying gem, I equipped the fighting gem, because that means that you can't, that means that it's in preparation, and it's not, that makes it less Dynamaxy, if that's the best way to put it.
I feel like what I read, it was like you have to go. It's like a move relearner type thing. You have to go to a guy to get it changed.
You prep it outside of battle.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's what I liked about Z moves. I didn't like the power of Z moves, I'll be honest, but I did like the fact that you had to get it equipped. It wasn't like,
Yeah.
I will now use the electric Z move, even though I was planning to use the fairy.
Yeah.
So-
The having to pick between multiple good moves for like your team synergy. Like, do I run AtrixMJ or FairyMZ for my Tapu Koko? You know, depending on my team comp. That is a like layer of the strategy I really enjoyed about Z moves.
Yeah.
Well,
And I hope that it doesn't let you stack on current typings.
Yes, sir.
Because if you get to use adaptability Porygon Z
With another adaptability.
That's base.
yeah.
That's base, brother. No. Okay, sir. My thing is, they're saying that it's like another stab, but like we don't actually know if it's tied to stab itself or if it's a 50% boost.
Power
if they're
boost,
using it
yeah.
as like a comparison. Well, if it's just a comparison, that means like it would make
Adaptability
sense.
won't do anything.
It would make sense that like you stack it on your already stab move, and then you get the boost, which is like giving it like the same thing as like gems and Z moves, and then it's
Yeah. I'm
I see-
hoping it's locked to other typings that you don't already have.
That would be probably best for like as a mechanic,
Competitive
because like it's just a better mechanic if it does that. But like
Boy, do I love Araquanid.
I feel like it probably won't, but just because it's like, well, what's the point? Because some Pokemon just don't have coverage at all, so it's like
Yeah.
it-
I don't
It still
know.
gives you the option, because you could say, what's the point with Dynamax on like Absol, because some Pokemon don't get max airstream.
So
Yeah.
here I can kind of bring up what the point might be if we don't know all of the information about it, because like, okay, giving a power boost to a specific type, that's offensive exclusively. Have we looked
Yeah,
at this
that's
from
what's
like a
interesting.
defensive angle at all?
I pointed that
Yeah,
out
if it-
on. Well, there's no type change technically. You don't.
Okay,
gain
we know
new
that for a fact.
weaknesses.
That's what I was
Yes,
thinking in my
that
head.
was
like,
explicitly stated. Is you don't gain
Okay.
new weaknesses.
okay.
So I'm fine
do
with
you
it
gain
being a
new
purely
resistances?
offensive.
Is mainly what I'm saying.
I would assume.
No,
so.
there's nothing defensive about it. From that was like
Interesting.
explicitly stated. So from my perspective, even though it's a purely offensive gimmick, it's not like Megas where you change abilities and stuff and it basically becomes new Pokemon. It's not like Dynamax where you like gain a whole bunch of HP and you're broken. And it's not like Z moves in the fact that it happens once per game and it's a nuke.
Yeah.
I like the fact that you can put yourself in a position where your opponent says, you know what? I activated this too early. I have to switch now or I'm going to lose my Kangaskhan.
Yeah.
Like that.
And
I
then
like
they
that.
lose their boost.
Yes, the fact that you can't use it at any point in the match and be like,
Yes.
all right, now we're ready to roll. The fact that like if
You're
you
so right.
end up in a position where you need to switch and you played poorly, you lose it. I like the punishment of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say it punishes bad maneuvering, it punishes bad positioning, and honestly, those are the kind of gimmicks I like the most. Like,
Yeah.
I guess the comparison that I can think of is like Mega Evolving your Metagross too soon, and then you lose
no
your
clear
clear body, like
Yeah.
because you just want to go and hit buttons and kill things. You know,
And then
there's
Incineroar
still a
comes in.
layer of strategy to that. This is like that, but it applies to every Pokemon. And that's also something that I like because it's a blanket buff. It does, you know, make good Pokemon better, but that means all the little silly babies get their chance to shine too because now they can be useful. I like that.
And there are some Pokemon that like aren't good that might benefit a ton from this.
Pokemon
like, I was looking through
Slowbro
them.
with like a million
Yeah.
coverage moves.
Yeah, like coverage
Bullshit
Pokemon benefit
ones.
more than anything, but also coverage Pokemon aren't always like really, really good. Because imagine that there's a Barraskewda, right? That you're using Barraskewda. It only has water coverage, or it only has water moves that are like stab.
Just give
but
it stab
now
close combat.
you can close combat. You can like poison jab. You can psychic fangs. Like
Yeah.
it can do a lot of different things. But especially the Pokemon that I think benefit the most from this are like Pokemon that are weak to ground types that have options for beating them that require like a little bit of like prep
Yeah.
work. Like, oh, I need some chip, because now you don't really need the chip.
Skull
Yes, that's what you
Yeah,
were
so-
mentioning. You were saying like Garchomp gets poison jab and it can kill fairy types, but it's often just so close to, you know, not make it being a 2-hit KO and not a 1-hit KO. Now
But
with
also,
this,
what's really
you don't
nice is
gotta
it
worry.
still loses to faster fairy types.
Exactly, dude.
But
I like
we
it.
Can,
I like
we
this.
can guaranteed say that this is the only aspect of the mechanic, right?
That's what we understand so far. Obviously, we're not certain, but it's very, very, very like it's more confirmed than a leak usually is.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, that makes sense to me.
Because we've seen video of crystallized Pokemon.
I think there might be an aspect to this mechanic that, like, dude might just not care about because he's playing through the game just like, oh, click a button.
Oh yeah, that's why we don't know if it like stacks on stab or if it's a required item. That's why we don't know those things because
I want to know what kind of like defensive option there is with it.
Well, yeah, I'm assuming that they would say if it changed the type.
If it's confirmed that there's no type change or no resistance gained, that makes sense. There's other ways to do that, and every mechanic in the past has both been a blend of like offense and defense.
That's what's interesting. I don't mind it being
entirely with
Z moves.
What happens status when you
Z celebrate? Literally all status moves being changed to that. Yeah.
I'm kind of fine with this being purely offensive because
same here.
I'm fine with this being purely offensive.
Non-offensive. There we go.
Like, I honestly like. If it had any kind of defensive mechanic, I would hope that you had to choose. I would hope it was like, do you want a new stab or do you want a new resistance?
That's what I'm kind of expecting out of what I'm hearing. Like, I think just going with based off the whole past future thing, right? Like, does it make sense for both of those themes to encompass changing stab? You see what I'm saying?
That's like a whole different thing, though.
Yeah, I think the past and future idea is kept in the ancient forms. We haven't seen any future forms, but I really hope they are because I'm gonna feel so smart.
I feel like it's not gonna be a thing in the battle mechanic. I think the battle mechanic is just like you have a thing that's offensive, an extra offensive option, which is cool because it's like how many Pokemon are gonna be able to use a choice specs or a choice scarf or it's like just another option for a mon that would otherwise, like, could be running a Sash or a Life Orb or a...
Even defensive Pokemon can take advantage of this because, like Corviknight gaining stab on body press, Ferrothorn gaining stab on body press, that could be kind of cool.
And so this is, I think what I'm more getting at is like what Marco said towards the beginning of like we don't know that it's affecting explicitly like stab as we know it, or is it affecting a type of move a la Z move because like
but it's doing the same thing either way. It's a 50% boost.
From what we understand, the move doesn't change at all. It's just the multiplier on it.
What happens when you give this what happens when you give the steel whatever the fuck crystal whatever we want to call it to an already steel type that uses iron defense? Is it going to do like +3 or something? Like that's what I'm getting at.
You're wondering if it affects status moves. Okay, that would be interesting. Actually,
that is a good question. I would hope it doesn't because that sounds annoying.
That sounds dumb.
I would dude,
imagine you get the flying one, Bruce heals 100%.
Yeah, let me use normal scrungulization to tail glow right now. Oh, I'm at +6.
Not like I mean, obviously that's like Z move bygone era type boosting, but I'm more so saying like what can it do to that? That's new.
Yeah,
I think it would do something.
I don't think it needs to be new. I think it's just like fine with like what it's been described as. I feel like that.
I think you're all coping, and you don't want the mechanic to feel like too game changing. I think it's 1000% going to be.
We're going off of what has already been said.
Like I'm not really like I acknowledged like when I was talking about it for my channel that like there's a chance that this could make hyper offense better, but the very fact that you can easily force a switch. Like forcing switches, running like Roar. You couldn't roar a Dynamax Pokemon. That was BS. That was absolute BS that you can't roar at a Dynamax. You had to eject button cheese things. The fact that we have like the same counterplay that we would to let's use this example. If you have a Dragapult, right? And you know that you don't want to click either of its stabs, but you want to click Choice Specs Flamethrower. It's the equivalent of having a Choice Specs Flamethrower.
No, I get what the mechanic does. I'm saying there's probably more to it than just power boost.
But we just don't know.
We've gotten so far.
We can really only go off of what we've got. If it affects status moves in some way, that would be really interesting. I hope it's. I hope it's not something crazy. Like maybe, what if you get an accuracy boost and your Thunder Wave's 100% accurate? That wouldn't be.
I like
bad.
the idea of that.
Yeah, that wouldn't be terrible.
Yeah, something like that would be
Zap Cannon is boosted accuracy.
But
Oh no!
imagine that you're running like Sleep Powder Venusaur, and now you have 90% accurate Sleep Powder.
Yeah, but you have to sacrifice the held item on Venusaur, so now you're not Focus Sash or Life Orbed or whatever. Something like that would be interesting.
As long as you can my whole thing that I think makes it like completely better than anything else we had is the fact that the counterplay to this is the same to the counterplay as if it didn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. Play better, you don't lose.
Yeah.
Like it's not like you can't roar me out, you can't circle throw me, and all of your like offensive Pokemon that might force a switch now because I have double HP, I might just stay in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like I like it when the mechanic has like very little like impact on the actual like game.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I know.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, no, I know.
We're not trying to gang up on you. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying that either.
I'm ganging up on him. He said we were coping.
The thing that Michael's looking for is something that's game changing. I don't want.
Yes.
I don't want the game changing. I want
Michael.
to be different from
We
Dynamax.
played 3 years of Dynamax, and that's the only VGC you've played. Removing it is game changing.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I also played a little bit of BDSP when that came out, and that was pretty cool. But I feel like an entire format of that is going to be kind of bland, and I think Game Freak would agree.
That's just because it didn't cook long enough.
And it was a limited dex, like a severely limited dex compared to what we're used to.
No.
Also,
okay, I'm not
we lost
saying
like so many items.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's better if it's just an offensive.
I just ripped my headphones
thing.
out.
I don't think I like the idea of boosting the accuracy of things, like status moves if it has not accurate or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it being purely offensive is way better because it has so much less of an impact on the game.
Yeah. The thing that I'm worried about is that if it was just we're giving this Pokemon a third type, that can get out of hand very quickly.
Yeah.
And I feel like this can also get out of hand really quickly. Yeah, because imagine if you can be the same, boost as the type that you are, things like Arachnid, things like PC
you already said Porygon, thing's a fucking
things
real
that are
good.
already that are already very good offensively are just gonna go through the roof. Imagine, giving them like Ghost type, and Porygon Z is now
and so like
normal
as
Ghost.
much as we don't want to admit it, Game Freak is fucking smart about that, right? Like they're gonna think like, there are Pokemon that only have one type and don't have much coverage. What would they be able to do with the new mechanic? Nothing. They'll probably be able to stack the normal onto the PZ, bro. I'm telling you, like.
I mean, they're probably going to just give them more options, because with Dynamax,
it's also
move distribution got much better.
Yeah, true.
Especially with like stuff like the Isle of Armor move tutor stuff.
Yeah, they're most likely just going to be like, that honestly, that makes me a little bit more excited for it, if we're being real. Mm-hmm. If they're going to look at bad Pokemon and be like, we're going to give you coverage, buddy.
Trust me. I like what the new mechanic is being explained to me as. This is cool. I'm a fan of it. What I'm saying, though, is I don't know if this is flashy enough. I don't know if this is enough to be like.
I don't want it to be flashy.
I want it to be fucking bang explosions type shit.
It's gonna look pretty. It's gonna look
cool.
You crystallize the whole Pokemon's model, and it becomes reflected. Like that sounds cool.
I don't mean visually. I mean like you can feel it flashy. You see what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, that's what it's gonna be.
Yeah, I can feel my Joy-Cons rumble when I get max airstream.
Oh my god.
No, like all of a sudden, you didn't expect this Pokemon to have this random ass coverage move, and now your Swampert's exploding because they had like fucking Absorb or something, and the boost from the Crystal was just enough to make Absorb kill something. I know Swampert's not going to be in the game, but this is an example, because a lot of Pokemon will get coverage moves, but they'll be like 60 base power. So imagine just boosting that now. And you have no idea what to expect. That's going to be interesting.
Is Little Timmy going to care about
so
that?
I can give it
Yes!
coverage?
Little Timmy's going to say, hey, my Dragonite is scared of getting hit by fairies. I can now boost Iron Tail, and win.
Yeah.
But
my Dragonite will never lose to a fairy.
Is he going to feel that power difference? I don't think so.
Because
I don't
he's
care
used
about what
to
a child feels.
He's gonna see his Dragonite get the shit beat out of him by these little pink goobers, and then he's gonna say, well, what's Fairy weak to? Dragonite gets a move. Oh, I gotta make it as powerful as I can so I can counter it. That is shit that I would used to do all the time. When I played Pokemon games, if I was weak to something, like if I had... whenever I found out that my water type learned Ice Beam, I was so hyped, and I would give them fucking, like, Never Melt Ice or something, just so I could always beat the grass types and never lose.
Yeah, and to be fair, it's all about the presentation, if we're gonna be honest. Like, think about it, Michael. Would Dynamax be nearly as cool if all
they didn't get big? No.
If they didn't get big.
Yeah.
No.
And the animation...
Unironically, no.
Like,
But
as long as they present this well enough, it doesn't matter.
But I feel like that's leaning into what I'm saying, though, right? Like, what you're saying right now is that you're right. There was, like, kind of a gradual buildup. Like, okay, Mega is really cool. You get a form change and power boost. That's awesome. Z-moves. Dude, a fucking cutscene plays for that shit. Are you kidding me? That's awesome.
I would imagine a cutscene plays when you do this, too.
Yeah.
No, I would imagine as well. Dynamax, how are you going to top Dynamax with stab boosting?
You remove
see what I'm
it.
saying?
Yeah,
Like,
how do you?
Yeah,
get
you
Dynamax?
remove
You
it.
get rid
To
of
be
it
fair,
because
no one...
it's bad.
Yeah, no one
no,
wants
dog,
anyone.
don't
Go
get
back.
what I'm
No,
saying
I-
then.
guys,
You're
guys,
bad,
That is
dude. I hate you,
explicitly,
sir, but-
dude. That is explicitly the opinion of somebody that travels to tournaments, plays Pokemon 24/7,
No,
8
no.
hours a day. You see what I'm
Actually,
saying?
no, I've
Michael,
heard from
I
the-
get what you're
I've heard
saying.
from
I
the
get what
casual
you're
community
saying.
That they hate it, too.
But we thought we couldn't beat Megas, we thought we couldn't beat Z-moves in terms of flashiness, and I don't think that there is a way to beat Dynamax in terms of flashiness and, like, feeling the impact of a fucking max airstream on you. Like, aesthetically, I don't think there's any way to beat that because they made them big on purpose. It was this epic proportions kind of thing. I don't mind it being physically smaller. I think that the crystal effect and whatever animation that plays is probably going to be similar to Mega Evolution. There's going to be some nice sound effects and some nice sound design. Like, Game Freak's good at making shit look pretty. So I'm not worried.
We're also looking at this purely from the
about
perspective of a
presentation.
battle when, like, let's think about this. They don't need the battle to enthrall the player right now because this is the first open world game. I'm pretty sure the flashiness comes literally everywhere else.
That could be it as well.
Think that, like, that style of thinking about the mechanic is, like, throwing for them. I feel like they wouldn't want to...
It's an open world game. Like,
Yeah,
they've
been promoting
it's
the
free
hell
money.
out of open world. Yeah. I get what you're saying, Michael. I really do, and I'm not trying to like say like, oh,
like
you're
I'm not
wrong.
talking about flashiness specifically. I'm talking about like game
Yeah.
feel. Like
Yeah.
what does a battle feel like?
Yeah,
It should
one would
probably
imagine that
revolve
they're-
around this mechanic.
One would imagine that with Legends Arceus coming out, like, and with how well that was received, that it won't be just about the battle anymore. The overworld movement's going to receive a huge, like, overhaul.
yeah.
Because overworld movement in Legend Arceus was a lot better than any other Pokemon game we've had so far.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to be the focus in terms of, because they, Sword and Shield was, the main focus was on battles. Arceus, the main focus was on catching. I feel like we're going to get a nice blend of it in this. I think we're going to get, the leak said we're
I hope
going
we
to
keep
ride
Arceus
the dragons around. That'll be cool, I think that
really
we're
hope
still
we
going to
keep
have battles that shift directly from the open world into the battle screen, like Legends Arceus,
That
where it's a
one's
kind
confirmed.
of smooth transition. But, stuff like that. I don't think...
So I did just think of something that might like lend to the idea of diluting an in-game battle mechanic from it being like so incredibly either impactful or like defining of the generation. Let's call it that.
Well, yeah, I think it's going to be the same as Z-moves and everything else.
I actually might not even agree with that anymore because, and this is going to be stupid, but because of the anime. Think about what they're doing right now. They're
The
kind of on
anime...
a send-off. They're kind of on a
it's-
send-off of the past 3 mechanics.
It is crazy how much they're, like, peaking in, like, promotional material and, like, anime stuff. Because, yeah, the tournament of, like, the best how the fuck are they gonna write something better than that? I don't know if they will. And
Ash pulling up with the Megastone Z-Ring and the Dynamax band all at the same time. You're not
How the
going to be
hell is
doing
Ash
that in the
going to make
future,
it
bro. I
past
don't
round
think so.
one?
yeah,
Like,
this is Game Freak's problem now. They have
Literally.
power
So what I'm
scaled their
saying-
way, and it's sick. But I have no clue where they're gonna go from
This is
here.
the,
And so
This
what I'm
is gonna
saying
be
is
the
I don't think they're
Dragon
going
Ball
to keep going
GT.
up. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I
gonna
disagree
be
that
this-
this is going to be GT. This is not going to be GT, where they tried to go higher than a peak and failed. I think they're
No, they didn't
aware
even try
they
to go higher
peaked
than a
and
peak.
are
They
going to go the other
downscaled.
way.
Yeah, I hope they're
Yeah,
downscaling.
GT downscaled.
Yeah.
this is the stands to the Hamon, dude.
For real.
Let's do something different.
Let's do something different.
No, this is spin to stands.
This mechanic feels vanilla to me. Does that make sense? Like, it feels closer to like what normal non-mechanic Pokemon.
And honestly, I'm fine with that because it's gonna go down. It's gonna go back up again eventually.
Because when you dilute a mechanic from it being like the core, like this is the game. This is the Dynamax
I'm sure
game,
it's still
Sword
going to
and
be a
Shield,
good
right?
core part of the game. Because imagine fighting a gym leader when they can just decide to run a type that completely, fixes all of their weaknesses.
Like,
how
like
do you
sure,
do that?
it'll still have impact. What I'm saying is then you can focus on stuff like what you're saying, like the actual open world part of the game, or like the rest of the region can have its own identity, not the Dynamax region. Like it was.
Maybe the gimmick was making a better game the whole time.
Yeah, I think
that's a bar.
I think we're stepping away from the whole. This game is defined by our battle mechanic, which is
and so like that.
I honestly hope they do that. Oh my god!
If it feels like that, if it feels like that, I'm cool with it. That makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's
exactly a hype direction. That's a hype direction.
Battling should always be there, but I think that just changing battling each game when they could, because battling's fine. Battling has been the same for 20-something years.
That's
beyond
so
megas
cap.
and stuff.
What?
Well, no, I mean like
beyond the mechanic.
Basic,
yeah, okay, sure.
I'm saying beyond like mechanics coming in from 6, 7, and 8. Right?
It's always been
the basics of battling have always been the same. Yeah. Like, we got new moves and stuff, and they're gonna give us new moves.
You got your switch. You got your
what you do has remained the same largely. They never bothered to make the rest of the game fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is why
it's walking from battle to battle.
Yeah. We are shaking hands now on this mechanic.
Yeah.
So if they just mix Legends Arceus, because Legends Arceus' battle mechanics were kind of doo-doo caca if you're trying to play multiplayer.
Yeah.
Single player, it made it kind of hard, which I was fine with.
Yeah, that was fun.
When you did battle, it was like, oh, I'm probably gonna lose.
It was balanced for a single player experience.
Yeah. If they do that with this game, where it's like, you might be walking from battle to battle, but hey, I hope you're able to make this jump across a canyon on your like Weirdeer. Otherwise, you're not going to get to this battle. And you died. Time to get carried back to the Pokemon Center in like Pee Pee Poo Poo Town.
Yeah.
Like they should at least make it so when you're going from one battle to another, you're entertained and you're not just walking. Because most Pokemon games are just walking.
That's why I love the exploration that Legends Arceus had and the DLC for Sword and Shield had, because I felt I wanted to look around. It was fun to look around. And it was so much. That's what Pokemon felt like when you were a kid, because you're like, ooh, look at all these cool, pretty things. I wonder what this does. I wonder what this does. But then once you get older, you're like, okay, I know that this is just, a kind of squiggly line on my way to the next town at the gym.
And I think that they are going to do that, to be honest, because Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, the overworld encounters carried over into the actual game, Gen 8, You would imagine Pokemon Legends Arceus, the overworld shinies, plus the fact that catching is no longer just something that you kind of just do, now that it actually requires a little bit of learning of the mechanics of the game. That's huge. If we could have that tied into this game, it'd be amazing. And I think they are going to do that, because why else would you include 4-player multiplayer?
Yeah, I've heard about
it's just
Overworld.
Walking from battle to battle, what's the point of including that?
Yeah, I've heard about that overworld shinies. Like, there was it was like a really badly translated line, but it's like, it said they're probably back. So it's a hard probably, but
it's the same engine.
Yeah,
so.
I don't think that the throwing Pokeballs to catch Pokemon in the overworld without having to battle is coming back, which makes me kind of sad.
Wait, no, there's no way that they don't include it, because it's already been confirmed that your battles just start like there.
Yeah, but we haven't seen any footage of a Pokeball being thrown not like at a pre-made camera angle that would have been used in the battle.
That's true, but we know that overworld Pokemon spawn, right?
Yeah,
we've seen that.
We've seen
there
that.
Are Pokemon
and then
in the overworld, and we have seen a battle. In that place that they were battling, it was an awkward position.
Yeah.
Like it was generated for that specific encounter.
Yeah. I think that is what's going to happen, but I don't know if they're going to bring back the throwing the Pokeballs mechanic.
Oh, I hope that
they do. I really hope that they do, because
or at the very least, throwing your Pokeball.
Yeah, that
like your Pokemon.
Yeah, I think they'll add that. Just not like catching.
Why wouldn't they?
I don't know. maybe because it's not ancient times, and or we gotta battle Pokemon, because we can't do that now.
If that's their cop-out answer, that's crazy.
I know, I'm gonna be sad about it.
It was so immersive. It was like, if they include all like the sneaking catching mechanics, right? If they include all that, and they include the normal battling, like it was in Gen 8, but updated.
Yeah.
If they have both of those, this is just hands down gonna be the best Pokemon game.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Okay, dog, literally no shot this can't be the best Pokemon game. Every Pokemon game they make after the last one has been the best Pokemon game. So
and also it's the second game. It's the second mainline series game on a piece of hardware, which historically has always been a banger.
Yep, that's how it always works.
Emerald, we had Emerald and Fire Red, Leaf Green. Those were bangers.
No,
Ruby Sapphire were like, we had Platinum and Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Those were bangers. But even though that wasn't that was the same generation as Gen 4. But then we got Black 2, White 2, where they significantly increased the immersion of the game compared to the Gen 4 stuff because they were used to the hardware. Then on the 3DS, going from X and Y to Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon gives me whiplash.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that these are on the same console and they're in the same franchise.
I am having
Imagine what we would do.
The franchise that I've played since I'm 5 mansplained to me right now. Holy shit! I know. I know what you're talking about.
Anyways, that was my whole point.
I was aware of your point from the first words.
It was for the viewers.
For the viewers.
They know too. They can
Some of the viewers don't. So, one of the viewers in my comment section told me, actually, there's a good chance that Dynamax is going to be in Gen 9 because, Megas were in Gen 7. And I go, yeah, but, Megas might have been in Gen 7, but the whole focus was on, Z moves, and they were just kind of an afterthought. Plus, Dynamax can be real hard to implement into a game where it's not the central mechanic. And he goes, okay, but think about it. It's not like they can't add Dynamax back in DLC. I mean, Megas weren't in Sun and Moon, and then they got added back into the game in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon /XY. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, do you think X and Y came after Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon? And also, no, they were in Sun Moon.
Yeah.
So I have to, as much as I love you viewers, some of you don't know.
Yeah.
Listen.
I'm listening.
I think what I'm getting at, and I think what you guys have made me agree with so far, is that you get 100% juice and you split it into 2 cups. These 2 cups, left, you got the world, the gameplay, the actual playing a video game, not the battling. And then the right cup is the battling, right? The other half of Pokemon.
Yes.
What it has been prior has always been 80% juice into the battling, because that's what you're doing for the most of the time. 20% juice into the world. 90 even. I would agree with that too.
Yeah.
What I'm afraid of is a full reversal of that. 80% juice into the world, 20% juice into the battling. I don't think that's a good idea.
Well, that was Legends Arceus.
Well, yeah, I think that that's fine because we've already juiced, as you would say, juiced up the battling enough to the point where you can pretty much change very little. Maybe some minuscule buffs. I have a slightly different mechanic where you can, start putting. It's okay, we've already given enough juice to this guy. Let's start giving a little bit more juice to the other guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My fear, no, I think it's 1,000% time that they do juice up the world. Please, I want that. I desperately want that, but I don't want it to be at the cost of juicing up.
I get that you're
worried. We're not going to remove stuff beyond Dynamax if we're being honest.
I get your worry about the fact that the mechanic feels so less tied to the game, the battle mechanic feels so much less tied to the game, and then that means that they're going to go full on into the exploration, if that's what I'm getting at.
That's good.
Yeah, no. That's
But I think the battle mechanic might need to be as deep as the world. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think it has to be, because I think that the battles, default battles, no mechanics, with all of the items that we have, all of the moves that we now have, all of the weather conditions, terrain, various other things that we can deal with, speed control. There's already so many layers to it. I don't mind, I don't mind there not being a mechanic. I wouldn't mind there being a mechanic that is less tied into the world. I'm sure it's going to be tied into the world, like, plot-wise. But if we've made it this far with the game being pure battling, even in the games without a gimmick, like Megas or Z moves, right? I don't think that pushing a little bit more into the world and a little bit less in the battles spells doom for the battles being boring. I don't think that will happen.
And when you think about it, like, mechanicless battling, like, you know, gimmickless, I guess is the better way to put it.
That's still
gimmickless battling held us over, even for games that were kind of crap, like BDSP. We still liked battling because we still had tons of options. The only issue with BDSP is that we lost items and Pokemon.
My fear with that is we didn't play that for an entire competitive season.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't let it develop, but also it was not really
But it wasn't built for that, right? This is the next generation, so it is built for that.
I mean,
but
to be fair,
they're also
to be completely fair, you know, we didn't really get to see any development in terms of Sword and Shield formats either. So
because they switched over and over and over and over.
I don't agree with that.
It's just that Dynamax was a recurring thing through all of them except for Series 10.
There are people that still don't understand how Dynamax works. Is what I'm getting.
Yeah,
at. I don't want this mechanic to be solved week 1 of the format.
It's not going to be. It's definitely not going to be.
Your fear is that the game's gonna get solved, brother. I don't think it will.
Yeah,
I mean the
format?
battling, specifically the mechanic.
Michael, you didn't play in like Gen 7 VGC like 2017 or like formats where it didn't change consistently. Those formats, despite the rules staying the same the entire way through, never got solved, and we had developments coming up post Worlds.
Dude, Salamence,
like it was always
Metaverse
changing
in 2017. That was like a Worlds thing, and like post Worlds as well. There's like those shit beating that. And
dude, 2016, like Mega
I'm not
Rayquaza
talking about like Pokemon
was bad
use.
until
I'm more
Worlds,
so talking about like figuring out how to work around the mechanic.
Well, we are. If
you remember
we
that
figure
one
out how to work
post?
around the.
You remember
if
that
we figure out
one,
how to work around the mechanic, like I don't mind if we know how to use it well, and like know exactly how we should be using it, because it's not. We already. I know that you said like most people. Like, there are some people who still don't know how Dynamax works, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I think everyone knows exactly how it works.
I literally don't agree at all. I think that mechanic is so fucking deep to the point where it almost too deep.
It ain't that deep, bro. It ain't that deep.
It's pretty deep, bro.
Dynamax is deep in the same way that you can throw a rock 20 different ways.
Yes.
But the thing with that as well is
so your point is invalid.
It's still a rock hitting a. It's still a rock hitting a dog.
Oh no!
I am a serial rock skipper. Okay, those things are hype.
But the point is, I think that you saying people don't understand how Dynamax works is honestly just
they're just forgetting quirks.
I think
they're just forgetting quirks.
I think that's a bad thing, because it's like, well, why don't people know how to use it? That you should know how to use it.
Yes,
and that's on the player.
Yeah.
Dude, I forgot that you can't instruct Dynamax Pokemon.
And 2, I think you're thinking that it's way too deep than it actually is, brother. Like,
I think it's too deep to the point where it alienates. So that's covering what you first said.
I don't think
I think that's a Pokemon problem. I think that's a VGC
it's
issue.
Too strong and it alienates. Because if it was too deep for people to use it, it would be more like, wow, I'm really having trouble using this Dynamax effectively. Everyone can use Dynamax effectively because of how simple it is. The fact that we can weakness policy spam our way through like the lower tiers all the way up to like the basis
of... That shit is not real anymore. That is only a thing on Calyrex. No other Pokemon is using that right now.
But that's the thing, because we're playing restricted formats, but like in previous formats, you could slap like weakness policy on just about everything.
Yeah.
Which I think is hype. But anyway, what the thing I guess my bias is coming here from that one Shedinja post, or that one what's it called? Like, solve this VGC puzzle, and it's like a Shedinja on the other side of the field, and you have Kyogre and something walled by Shedinja, like Rillaboom or some shit. And like all of the comments were like, "Oh, Max Hailstorm your own Rillaboom to set hail. You'll kill the Shedinja." And these are like VGC players saying this shit, and I'm like, what?
All right,
you can't do that.
To be fair, that was more them not reading, because I played that puzzle, and it specifically said both of you have already Dynamaxed.
Yeah.
No. Like,
What is the problem? What is the problem with doing that? Was it because the Shedinja had goggles? Was it because that's a stupid play?
You can't hailstorm your partner! You can't do that!
Oh!
Alright, to be fair though, no one would.
Yeah, no one would,
Like,
so I think people
there's no
just...
situation in VGC where you should do that.
I think people just assume that that's how that works.
Yeah, because it's like...
I didn't even know that, I'm
get
stupid.
you turning on your partner,
She didn't know that! She didn't know that! She's living proof. Thank you, Ash.
Well, okay, you
but
don't need
let's
to
be
know
real.
every single thing. Okay, this is... I understand that it's a weird thing because it affects Pokemon overall. Knowing all the bits and pieces about how a mechanic work is not a bad thing, because it happened with Megas and it happened with Z moves. Dynamax is really weird because it has all these really weird conditions applied to it. We don't need to know all of those conditions. I don't need to side Dynamax move my own Pokemon. I don't think there's ever a situation where I have to do that.
Yeah, like, let's be honest, like, here's what you need to know about Megas. My stats change, I can do it once per game. I can have multiple Mega Stones, but I won't be able to Mega all of them, and you can't knock off a Mega Stone. That's pretty much the gist of it, but there was still a decent amount of depth to the mechanic because of team building and how you end up playing the Mega and how it's basically just like a superpowered Pokemon. Z moves, basically the same rules, do it once per game, but you can have multiple per team, and you can't knock it off. Dynamax, okay, so...
There's so
you can't
much
low kick.
random
Yeah, but it isn't
shit. It almost
good.
feels like random
It isn't good. Imagine having to add that many. No, imagine having to add that many rules to something and have it still be shit.
Yeah, it's all of these tiny little details, like you can't use moves that affect weight. You can't make them switch out unless it's an eject button. You can't,
Instruct doesn't work.
Instruct doesn't work.
Cofagrigus or Runerigus' ability doesn't work if you try to use it on a Dynamax Pokemon. Yeah. Exactly. That doesn't make it deep. It makes it convoluted and weird.
Yes. So there's a balance to that, I think, is what I'm getting at. There's like, you can do all this weird convoluted shit to a point where it tips. Like, too much of that is a bad thing.
Yes.
But I think there's a sweet spot of enough of that where it's still pretty cool. You can't knock off a Z move. You can't taunt a Z move. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, those
I don't think cool. Dynamax did that well, though. It felt more like hidden mechanics and all these random rules.
I'm agreeing with you on that. I think they definitely, like, fumbled the bag in that case, where it's like, yes, it's very convoluted.
Yeah.
Like,
I think that if this mechanic is tied to an item, it's going to be the same as Megas and Z moves. This is what it does to your stats. It's an item that you can't knock off. Maybe you can have multiple Pokemon hold it, but you can only activate it once per battle, and that's it.
Yeah, I want to know the convoluted shit about it, because I feel like they're not
there's
that shit.
Y'all remember Wide Guard reducing Z move damage even if it wasn't the Pokemon clicking Wide Guard? That shit was nasty, and then they patched it out.
That's a glitch. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm more so talking about, like, is it untauntable or like some weird shit like that? You know what I'm saying? Like the convolution. Where does that come in? Because it's gonna be there.
It
doesn't need to be that.
It doesn't need to. You're right. But it will.
No, it won't.
I think it will, dude. Like,
no, it won't.
It never has it.
Give me an example of a situation where you're changing your. Okay. You have a Pokemon. You're giving stab to an additional type on that Pokemon. What convoluted stuff could come out of that?
I don't fucking know. I didn't make the game.
Like, there's no reason for anything else to be in there, so why would they add it?
It's like asking for too much. Like, Michael, what we want is imagine Pokemon is ice cream, and we just want sprinkles on it every generation. Maybe we'll change the color of the sprinkles.
Cookie, a brownie, a shortcake shit on that, bro.
No, you're asking for like so many like toppings that you're asking for so many toppings that you lose the ice cream.
No, I'm fine with the toppings. I don't want the toppings only in the mechanic. I want them in the new Pokemon, in the new abilities, in the new items, in the new moves. That's where I want the complex stuff to be.
Do you realize how hype Gen 8 was when we didn't have Dynamax? Do you realize how, like, we were playing this game with Dynamax for like years at that point, actually, like 2 years, and then the no Dynamax format comes out, and it's like, oh, this is a completely different game, and it might be better. Like, the fact that
I'm saying, y'all like Dynamax at the beginning of the game. That's
it was because it was cool for a while, and
it was cool and new. It was in the same way that I really, really like eating what is that one candy? I really like eating a small box of Nerds. Yummy sugar Nerds. Yum. And then you give me 3 years worth of Nerds, and you go, eat this every day.
And so you can say the exact same thing about any food, though.
Yeah.
No, because any food won't give me like diabetes. Like imagine that it
you
was
gonna
like
eat a sandwich. You gonna eat a fucking mayonnaise, nothing else on it sandwich for 3 years and enjoy your life? I don't
think
agree.
a more apt comparison would be a turkey sandwich every day. I can eat a turkey sandwich every day. Would I prefer
disagree.
if I got to eat something else? Yeah, but I can eat a turkey sandwich every day because it doesn't require me to be gobbling down purple sugar nerds.
I think also something that made Dynamax more fun in the beginning and less fun in the other formats is the Pokemon that were added to the game in the DLC and then straight into a restricted format. I think this is also a restricted format issue.
By the way, scares me equally as much as what happened with Dynamax for that, because apparently this mechanic applies to every Pokemon, which means, the rich get richer. Exactly like what happened with Dynamax.
Well, here's... no.
But it isn't like stat-based. It's how many moves you have based.
Yeah.
So that's an easy fix. Like, let's give this new moves. Let's remove moves from this. Like, if Zacian's in this game, which I don't think it is for a while, imagine that they say, we're going to get rid of Sacred Sword in close combat on you, but you can still use the mechanic.
Yeah. Or if it requires an item, they have to hold Rusted Sword anyway, so...
Yeah, because it's item tied. Like, imagine that, like, Landorus Theron gets to use this, right?
Oh no, Zacian can't use the primary use the primary mechanic. I wonder what'll happen to Zacian. I wonder if it'll be bad now. As if it can Dynamax right now. Okay.
Yeah, no, like Zacian's still gonna be fine, but what I'm saying is like it won't become get richer across the board like Dynamax was, because it was across the board for Dynamax. Like Landorus, one of the best Pokemon in the game, give it Dynamax, all of a sudden it can now max Airstream, it can now boost.
Lando got like big ball and
Lando became like actually broken for the first time in history. Like unironically, that was the first time Lando was broken. And now with this game, now Lando gets stab on Rock Slide. Ooh. You know, like it already could have ran a choice band Rock Slide. It already usually like will run a choice band in some formats. It's like, now it's Rock Slide does a little bit more damage. That's fine. You know, like it doesn't become
Kyogre
better. You know what?
One shot opposing
There's
Kyogre
diminishing
with Thunder.
returns. There's diminishing returns here.
Yeah, there's diminishing, and if the Kyogre is one-shotting opposing Kyogre with Thunder, guess what it loses? A Choice Scarf.
Yeah.
It loses options versus other things. It's a trade.
Mm-hmm. That's why it's good when it's tied to an item. That's why Z-moves were neat.
And also your Mystic Water, like Mystic Water kind of carries some Kyogre spreads. Like
I'm praying it's tied
Assault
to an
Vest. Assault Vest was good this format because it allowed Kyogre to just eat hits from like Regieleki. Mm-hmm. There's a trade happening where with Dynamax there was no trade.
Yeah,
like you still got items.
What y'all are gonna fucking despise if this happens is if it's not bound to an item, and all 6 of your mons can do it, and before the battle starts, you pick what stab they can spec into.
Well, no, that's what I want. I wanted to pick.
That would be good.
You want that?
No. Here's my thing. Let me.
It's another layer of preparation.
Yeah, it's like picking what Z move you're gonna run. You need to pick what type it is. All of your Pokemon can do it, but it's been confirmed only one for battle, and the effect stops when you switch out or when you're forced to switch out.
Yeah, and if like, listen, imagine that I'm running like a Charizard Groudon team, and I go, I need to make sure I one-shot this Pokemon, so I'm now going to, even though it's not tied to an item, my Charizard Solar Power Blast Burn, I'm going to make sure it powers that up, even if it, let's assume that it can like power up the worst case scenario, it can power up fire moves, right? Mm-hmm. On a fire type. Well, now, guess what? Your opponent can be like, last game they powered up their Charizard. I can't really deal with that, but I do have, let's go with like a Scarf. I don't know what a good Pokemon would be. Let's go with like a Scarf. Trying to find a Pokemon that does get this.
I don't know.
Let's go like a random Scarf fighting type. I have a Scarf Komodo. Like somehow that'll become meta, right? Because formats are weird. And I am running Rock Slide on it. I can't one-shot with Rock Slide right now. However, if I power up my Rock move in this game and get Stab on it, I'm a guaranteed one-shot on Charizard. Mm-hmm. There's counterplay because you're playing best of 3. Yes. And even if you're playing best of 1, still not really the end of the world because it's like another situation where it's like on team preview, you look at their team, look at your team, and you'll eventually learn what they're going to want to do.
Yeah.
That sounds like that sounds more annoying than Dynamax to me, honestly. Based on what other people say about it's annoying.
You
about
think
Dynamax.
Before the match starts.
I think that it should happen like. I'm
that
not
makes
sure
Choice Scarf stupider.
No. Here's my thought. Here's my thought. You go, Brady, first. You go first.
I was dude. Marcus, were you saying that you should do it in team preview or before team preview? Because
Michael said a hypothetical nightmare scenario where you had to choose it in team preview and you didn't need an item. So I was talking about
no, I didn't say choose in team preview. I said choose outside of the battle.
That I
walking with your guy
good.
being
that's
thing.
even better because now it isn't because now it's not flexible.
We want it to be an item that you equip to your Pokemon before like you even enter a battle.
Yeah,
I know you want it as an item. What I'm saying is I come up with your Choice Scarf Komodo, right? And I'm like, okay, now I'm a rock type and I'm Choice Scarf Rock Sliding.
Yeah.
You like that?
Yes.
Well,
because here's the thing: they can't
like
choice Scarf
Flame
Flower. They can't choice Scarf Close Combat. They can't choice Scarf because they're still choosing to commit to this Rock Slide.
Yeah,
that is their choice
it has
outside of battle.
counterplay.
They're thinking, I can't deal with Charizard on this team, or I can't deal with some other thing that's weak to rocks on this team, so I'm going to take my offensive Pokemon, make it fast, and commit this move. You have to make a choice to commit it. And something I do want to say, I'm thinking about it. You want to know what's great about the different? Okay.
This is the exact same thing as Dynamax, where you have to cover.
No.
They can do
where
their
it's not.
strong thing and actually kill my guy.
Here's where it's not.
But
Here's
you
where
don't
it's
get
not.
any defense.
Here's where it's not. You don't get any defense, first of all. Second of all, Nightmare Scenario, you can boost your own type, you can run another move. Okay, Dynamax PZ with a Life Orb versus PZ in this scenario with the Choice Scarf and Hyper Beam, with its adaptability, with the extra boost, with its stab, all that crazy shit.
Okay.
You want to know the difference between these two?
Yeah. No secondary effect. I know. Yeah.
No secondary effect.
One of them.
No additional HP boost. So if you're running like fucking Extreme Speed or Mach Punch on like a what's that guy? Breloom, maybe you have a chance to kill. And also, you can fake them out.
Yes, I was about to say, like,
there are more
positional
ways to deal with hyper offense in this format, in this hypothetical scenario, than there are to deal with Dynamax. There's also still going to be Prankster Screens, there's still going to be Prankster Charm, there's still going to be Fast Snarl, there's still going to be priority moves. You know, even if Psychic Terrain does exist, you know, you could still fake out, you could still, something's going to have Prankster Screens, you get Tailwind, you've got Speed Control, you've got ways to play around it. When you Dynamax something, your ways to play around it get lowered because now you just cannot stop their damage output because you cannot flinch them. You can kind of alleviate it with screens, but you know, it's going to do the same amount of damage either way, so I'm going to ignore that bit. Their bulk now makes them extremely hard to one-shot because most of the time the trade-off is this Pokemon's very strong, but they're not very bulky, so they die quicker. You know, there's more ways to play around it in non-Dynamax if they just get a big move that they can press and nuke something with than there are in Dynamax.
Yes, and also Protect actually protects you.
Exactly, that's also a thing.
You also don't know that, by the way.
All right, I'm going to assume that if it's just an extra stab, it's not going to break through Protect.
Yeah.
That would be fucking insane.
That would be crazy. You just get to choose, like, my Flamethrower now goes through your Protect. Fuck you.
I am now Urshifu. Fuck you, literally. Yeah.
I'm going to Scrungleize my Urshifu.
No.
And not only does it go through Protect, but it also hits the Pokemon that's about to come out.
What I don't think about... What I don't think changes about any of that is the whole, what I don't think people like about Dynamax is the guessing game of like, oh, are they going to choose to do the thing that can one-shot me right now or not? Like, where the
that's how Z-moves were as well, and the strategy was to
also,
it. The difference is that Dynamax, you have 3 turns to do it, with Z-moves you have 1 turn to do it. Now you have infinite turns to do it.
Infinite turns to do it. How is that better?
Because now you can switch, you can force them out, you can kill them, you can use speed control.
Oh no, they got their guy with the crystal thing under position in Tailwind. They're gonna click it and one-shot all 4 of my Pokemon.
Good job, they played well.
How is that different?
Good job, they played well
to get that.
They played well.
They can't one-shot both of your Pokemon.
No,
yeah,
it's
not.
No, it's not. With Dynamax, your out is having your bulk.
Differences.
When you have a glass cannon Pokemon like Porygon Z, I'm gonna keep using the same example. You need to position it well so that it's not getting flinch faked out. It's not, you know, it's hitting things throughout. Like there's no damage reduction. There's no way for it to get speed can drop. Maybe you're boosting its speed so it can guaranteed be faster. Maybe it's Choice Scarf. You can do all of those things with Dynamax. What do? You lead PZ in a fake-out Pokemon, you click Dynamax, and you live whatever is about to hit you. And then you drop their speed.
It's literally like, Yeah, it's literally just
speed.
like your best option versus hyper offense in Series 6 Nightmare Series. There's a PZ. My best option, there's a PZ Clefable or Clefairy. What's my best option versus this? I need to win the speed tie. like literally, like that's what it is. And in this situation, like Michael, I know you're saying that like this is they have infinite terms. That means it's worse. It's worse than Dynamax. You have more options for beating them. Like, yeah, Dynamax was only 3 turns, but think about your defensive options. I'm going to switch, which means I'm still going to take a 140 base power move. I'm going to protect, which means I'm still breaking my focus sash sturdy. I'm still taking damage. Or it's like, I'm going to Dynamax myself, which means I'm wasting a turn of my Dynamax to block one of their Dynamax, and then I'm going to do the same horrendous thing they were going to do to me back. This one, it's just like, hey, I'm going to power up this one Pokemon. If you can force a situation where I need to switch it out, the nightmare is over. And it isn't even really much of a nightmare to begin with. It's more like, they're using their super offensive thing. Let me go ahead and do what we've been able to do for 9 generations, except for Generation 8, this whole time to counterplay this Pokemon that has received a bit of a boost. Let me fake out and hit them. Oh, they protected versus that. That's fine. I have a Mach Punch Breloom and the Porygon's dead. Nice. Or redirection. Like, all of our options remain. Every option
Dynamax
remains in the game to beat it.
Can be used in a way that when you are in a good position, you sweep through their team. That's just how all of the mechanics work. If you play,
That's how Pokemon works.
Yeah,
It's
a missional thing. Yeah,
yeah.
if you're stuck in a situation where your opponent now has Tailwind up, they have this super nuke Pokemon. There's no priority moves you can use to hit it. You're out of fake out. You don't have screens. You're fucked. Then that's your own fault. There are with
Dynamax, those options never
existed.
existed.
With Dynamax, those options never existed. Exactly. That's a good way to say it.
Because all our that's a Thunderous on the other side of the screen, and they're using Airstream every turn. Now they're boosted, and you can't do shit.
I can't fake out. I can't Thunder Wave it because it's a Thunderous.
I can't intimidate
Let me go ahead and intimidate it. Oops.
I don't
Hold on, maybe Parting Shot will work.
Nightmare.
Let me maybe rephrase, because I think what I'm trying to say is getting misconstrued.
Okay, no. Yeah,
I
go
don't
ahead.
think that this mechanic is as much of a paradise as you guys are expecting it to be.
I'm sure it won't be. It's Pokemon. There's going to be something
I'm
we
sure
don't like
there's gonna
about
be
it.
an
Like, I think the ability to alter a damage calc in a way on the fly for all 4 of your Pokemon that you bring to a battle whenever you want is also what people complain about with Dynamax, is what I'm trying to say.
You can only do it once, and it probably requires an item or...
There's more counterplay to it.
Yeah, there's more counterplay. That's the difference.
Yes,
that's the difference.
Undoubtedly, there's more counterplay, but the agency is still not in your control.
It's not, but here's the great thing. Whatever your opponent gets in doing this, you can do the same exact thing back to them.
And yeah, that happened with Dynamax, because I know that's going to be your next point. But at the very least, it's not nearly as strong as Dynamax.
So the thing with Dynamax in that is this also affects support Pokemon, by the way. Like, if any, you wouldn't Dynamax a fucking, like, Gothitelle or some shit, or like a Whimsicott, right?
I've seen it.
You can all of a sudden do Crystal Whimsicott. Like, that's not out of the realm of the possibility.
Yo, Calm Mind Crystallized Whimsicott? Let's fucking go.
Not call like you don't even need to boost it. You just be like, oh well, hold on, I'm running Moonblast and I'm running fucking Hurricane or some shit, right?
No, that's more
there you go.
options.
Hurricane, goodbye.
That's something that's going to come with the beginning of the
but
format.
The Hurricane's now max airstream.
Yeah. You're not getting a speed boost from it. You still have to deal with accuracy, and if you want to deal with the accuracy, you have to set it right. Do
you see what I'm saying about it being kind of? Do you see what I'm saying about it being too much to cover for, though? Right?
Well, here's the thing. It's going to be the...
How are you complaining about this being too much to cover for?
Dynamax is the same thing.
Dynamax exists.
Dynamax is
That's what I'm saying!
Well, no, but the thing is... But, Michael, here's the thing. Your whole point is, hey, this might not be that good. To which we are all giving a resounding, we know, but it's better.
Yeah.
No, listen, you're not wrong about that, but I'm saying something different. You're not wrong about it being better. Listen,
Let him speak.
You're not wrong about it being better at all.
Okay.
Like, I'm agreeing with that.
Okay, sweet.
What
That's
I'm saying is it's not the paradise that I think, it's not going to be too far off of Dynamax is what I'm saying.
No. Oh, it's going to be much further because, listen, we're not saying that it's perfect. We're not saying it's even close to perfect. You're saying it's not too far off from Dynamax. I'm saying it's not too far off from being garbage. But Dynamax is much further down the trash chute than any of this. It's
And
literally
also a lot
it's
of the
like comparing like
a lot of the
like,
unpredictability that we're gonna have at the beginning is gonna be the same as we did at the beginning of any gimmick format, with anything with Z-moves, anything with Dynamax. We're eventually going to figure out what Pokemon have the coverage that they want and what teams work. It's just gonna be a process.
Oh, for sure. I'm gonna love that.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the fun bit.
format
That's the
sounds
fun
awesome.
bit is
That
being
sounds-
jump
that sounds
scared by a
cool.
random move that you didn't expect coming, because now you know to expect it.
Yeah.
And now you
Yeah,
can
no,
add that
that's-
to your
that's
arsenal.
awesome.
Yeah.
Also,
Listen,
none of
I'm
us
not
have
saying
said
this
that this is
mechanic's bad.
perfect.
I'm saying
or
this
close.
is like not like what I don't think this is as vanilla as we're expecting.
Oh yeah,
And
no,
I think
probably not.
the trade-off in my head that I'm thinking of right now is that, like, yes, counterplay goes up. The amount of convoluted shit, Dynamax just has less counterplay innately, right? You're right about that, correct?
Yes.
This has inherently more counterplay. But I think what goes up is the unpredictability and, like, the variance to all of this, where it's like, okay, now you can do this on support mods too. You can do this whenever the fuck you want. You can do this with, like, maybe out an item, maybe you see what I'm saying?
What?
Like,
How is that
Okay,
different
but,
than
like,
the
how's
availability of
that still
Dynamax?
existed?
How is that
Yeah,
different
how's
than the
that
availability
any-
of Dynamax?
It's
How's
it's
you
more
look at a
predictable.
team. You look at a team, and you're not going to be like, I think they're incinerable Dynamax. It's going to be the Charizard.
People
of Groudon
still
that's
run
gonna-
fucking
you see what
weakness
I'm saying?
policy in Cinevar.
Okay, but,
Everything
like-
is always possible.
How's that any different
Yeah.
from, like, Z-moves, dude? Like, the best formats had Z-moves in them. How's that any different? Like, I remember people running fucking, like, Fairy MZ on Coco instead of, Electrium Z as, like, a thing, like a spook, a jump scare. Oh, I'm getting Fairy MZ instead of, getting Electrium Z. Or,
Yeah.
like, when people,
I think that's equally as annoying. if anything.
it's equally as
Dynamax
annoying.
does the
But
same thing.
The best formats had the exact
They
same
all
shit.
do it.
Yeah, they all do
And
it.
it was-
They all do it.
There's
Is what
no
I'm saying.
escape
So it's
from
not.
it.
There's
There's no
no
escape from
parody. Yes, there's
Then
no.
what's
thank
the
you.
issue?
You're just saying what I'm saying. There's no paradise here.
Yeah,
We're
but
not saying
there.
we're
It's
comparing a
not saying there.
jaywalker. We're comparing a jaywalker to like a serial killer here, though. Like, yeah, he's still breaking the law, and he still probably shouldn't be doing that.
Crimes, yeah.
Yeah, they still technically both broke crimes, but one of them killed people, man.
Dynamax
He killed
killed
people.
people.
He killed
What the
Dynamax
fuck?
killed my
Dynamax
grandma, okay?
lied, people died!
Dynamax killed my grandma.
Dynamax lied, people died, get it trending.
Anyways, yeah, it's an analogy. It's an analogy that one of these things, they both suck. They
I
both
wanna-
suck.
I
right?
wanna know-
Rather that none of them existed, but one of them is objectively worse, and we shouldn't pretend like it isn't.
You know what we should all do?
I want.
We should wait
what's
for
it?
official information to come
We
out.
should wait for the goddamn game to
And
come
then
out.
we
'cause I
can yell
guarantee
about
it's
going
it.
to
gonna be
Japan
fire.
right now. I am
I
going
guarantee.
to Japan
Listen.
right now.
Y'all know me. I fucking suck the penis off of Dynamax. I'm gonna love this mechanic.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I guarantee it.
Hell yeah.
But I have concerns, and I might honestly like Dynamax more at the end of the day. Who knows?
Your
I'm
concerns
just
are
throwing that
valid. We don't
possibility out there.
know. We don't know until we play the fucking video game. This is leaks.
Literally,
Badly
literally,
translated
I agree.
leaks.
Hard agree.
And
but
we've spent an hour and a half
despite
talking
being
video
about
was
them.
literally just talking about issues with
Despite
90% of the
it
video I
being
made was
leaked.
just talking about issues about the possibility of this. I'm like, here are the issues of it. Anyways, I think it's not gonna be that bad.
Yeah, yeah.
despite it being leaks, I do want people to rank what we know about it currently with the other let's say like what 3 mechanics right there are Dynamax, Z-moves, Mega. And I want the comments to do that. So like,
Oh
y'all-
yeah, yo, tell us in
go
the
nuts.
comments. Yeah, we
Yeah.
want your opinions. You've listened to our opinions for an hour and a half. Give us yours.
Dude, when Dynamax was first introduced to us and we're like, oh, hey, we don't know if it's going to increase HP, most videos said, we hope it doesn't. Most videos said that. Like, I went back and watched those. Like, I said that. I'm pretty sure Joe didn't have a YouTube channel back then, but I think Aaron mentioned it and James mentioned, like, we really hope this doesn't increase HP because that would break it. And then, the game came out and we used it in like the playthrough and we go, oh, hey, it doesn't increase HP, but it's not that bad. It's not like doubling it.
Bro,
then
crystallizing
you
is gonna
unlock-
double like fucking all stats
shit.
set Primal Sun or some shit, bro. This is gonna be a
Yeah, none of
disaster.
the leaks even allude to anything beyond the stab.
Dude, it's...
I think that's another thing. I want to know how much they know, because I don't think they know anything about this video game.
From what I understand is most of this is coming from a leaked trailer. Like they've seen a trailer.
I thought it
No,
was from,
they probably to go back to Ash's like, oh, now my Dragonite can hit Fairy type Pokemon stronger. They probably just fucking crit a Fairy type with Iron Tail, and they're like, oh my god,
no, there's no fucking way. It's probably explained in the game.
And if it's anything weaker than Stab, it wouldn't make sense to run it anywhere.
I feel like it would be like, I heard that it was from a beta tester.
Yeah,
like that's what I
possible. Because didn't they also play through the game?
Yeah.
And they said like 60 hours ish.
Yeah,
but they're bad at the game.
Okay, to sum it all up though, here's my prediction: there's gonna be some weird shit. There's gonna be some defensive gimmick type trick type thing to it that we're not aware of yet.
Yeah, maybe that'd be neat.
Yeah,
and VGC players are still gonna complain about it. End of the fucking day. There's no escaping that one.
Michael, they're Pokemon fans. That's our fucking job.
This conversation right now is that you're trying to bring negativity to the world. You're bringing that energy, and I dislike it, dude. If
you're trying to drag this down,
I'm trying to prepare the world.
No, you're
trying to drag this down to Dynamax's level.
I'm trying to save the people within our nation.
No, you're a crab in a bucket. I'm climbing out, and you're dragging me back down, brother.
What?
I'm trying to denounce the evils of truth and love, bro.
Hold on. Listen. Hold on. We're done with spoiler talk because we're like an hour and 30 minutes into this. But let's go ahead. Brady, are you ready to teleport them to this part of the podcast right at the end?
Yeah. Okay. So this is
okay.
We're at the end of
spoiler land.
That's like an hour of spoiler
because I was in the middle of a sentence.
Team Rocket.
I was in the middle of a sentence, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
I have to finish it. All right. So. All right. I said. All right, so did you guys hear that in this game, Michael's still gonna have dog shit opinions?
That's fucked up. That is fucked up.
Dude, and just imagine that like the viewers like skip to this part and then they go, they do the jump and they're like, oh, that was kind of funny. Wait, what happened? And read it, they go,
this is the fucking gif of the guy walking in with pizza and everything's on fire.
Yeah. You can go get yourself spoiled too, by the way, because we really don't know what the fuck any of this is.
Yeah, if anyone in the comments knows anything.
We could also end it off that,
dude,
like, isn't it crazy that in this game, Stack Attack is not going to be in it, and then the podcast ends and they go right to it?
No, not Stack Attack.
It's like, dude, this entire episode was an hour of rambling about something that may or may not be true.
Yeah,
it's really funny.
that is very funny as fuck.
Like, I love spreading misinformation on the internet.
We are spreading misinformation on the internet.
I feel like half of this entire thing was just us yelling at each other. Michael, you suck. Michael, you suck. No,
each other. Wait, each other.
Oh yeah,
it was mostly just
this was a 3v1
as bad as Dynamax.
Yeah, which is really funny.
We woke Michael up to lecture him.
Yeah, it was fucked
up. Now you listen here, mister.
Brady called me, by the way, before the episode started for me to get down here.
Yeah, because he misread a single line of fucking of text. Dude,
I can't believe people argue. Listen, I can't believe people argue with me when I can't fucking read, bro. That's crazy.
Dude, I
have a solution to this issue. I have a solution to this issue that I'll discuss with you guys after the podcast because it's a very easy solution.
Yeah. So I type in the scheduling chat. You'll want to do regular time tomorrow at everyone, aka Saturday, 3 p.m. Pacific and 5 p.m. Central.
Oops.
We're sitting here until like 5:30 Central, and I'm like, okay, I've added Atrix like 2 times to join the call, and he hasn't joined. So I have his phone number in real life. I earned his phone number. I can call him right now if I wanted to. I'm not going to, but I can call him. Yep, and I did, and I'm like, Michael, you're half an hour late to a recording, and he's like, oh, I was in bed. I thought you
No. I said I thought it was tomorrow.
You thought it was tomorrow, and I'm in bed like a little sleepy guy, like a little.
He just quit his job. He can be a sleepy guy.
Like my little
sleepy bear.
Little sleepy bear. You know?
I didn't say these words, by the way. This is slander.
And like. Bro, come on, man.
I'm sorry. That's fucked up.
It's a line of text.
Yes, I fucked.
We
that's
can
my
stop
L.
bullying Michael. Michael, you're my friend. You are my friend.
I won't.
Thank you. I love all of you.
Michael, I invited you to hang out 3 times this summer, and you have yet to come over to my house for a sleepover.
I've yet to be able to get like a goddamn day off this summer, so like, yeah.
Congratulations, now you have infinite.
Exactly. Hey, what are you doing Wednesday?
What am I doing Wednesday? I'm working. You had your chance.
Fine.
Up.
What are you doing next Saturday?
Yeah, I think I might be at the Ren Fair.
Yo, hype.
Oh shit. Oh, yo, that is real. Hold on.
That is
Yeah, go to the
real.
Ren Fair. Go to the Ren Fair next Sunday. I'll just see you there.
Hype.
Yeah, fuck it. All right.
Dude, okay. I'd actually kind of hype. Ren Fair is something.
You want to know who I hope you guys see at the Ren Fair?
No,
I don't think
we
we'll
have
see
to
him
talk.
there,
We have to
but-
talk about Magikarp. We have to talk about Magikarp. We have to talk.
Oh,
about
fuck Magikarp
We
Judge!
are at an hour and a half. This is the
I don't
longest.
care. We
episode.
can make this a
This is
2-hour
it.
podcast
All right,
for all
no,
I care.
All right, Magikarp Cup will be cool. That's
We can
it.
talk about
Bye,
it next
guys.
episode. We can talk about it next recording after, like while it's happening.
While it happens, yeah.
Yeah,
we can talk about the
I
meta.
definitely will sign up.
That's what we did about the
skip
Spooky Cup, and I got like fucking rank 2 in that for a day. So like, yeah, we'll do that.
Hell yeah!
All right.
Jake?
So, Jake.
Shake. Instead of fuck
who are we
shake,
seeing
hug.
who-
I'm hugging all of it.
who we seeing at the stack attacker at the Ren Fair? That's right, baby.
We're not gonna see him there. I'm sorry.
No!
But you're gonna see a big old castle, and that's what he looks like.
There you go.
Anyway, welcome to the Patreon. Stack Attacker. Hold on, let me get the page up. While I get the page up, I need to notify everybody on the YouTube channel. Hi, Brady, it's me. I'm the person who runs the YouTube channel.
Hi, Brady.
We're gonna be starting to upload clips to the channel.
Yes!
We have decided that we want to start uploading, clips from these episodes. Highlight some awesome moments, aka me when I used the Gyarados in Series 1. As being a thumbnail, by the way, I've already made that one. But yeah, no, that's a thing that's happening. And it's time for the Patreon.
Woo! Patreon!
Oh, are we doing Discord server about that too soon?
At some point, we're also planning on making a Discord server for the for our silly guys over at the Patreon, but also at the same time, we also need to make content for the Patreon because everybody's busy.
So with the Patreon Discord, that's where we can make content. So
maybe, I don't know. I feel like
we'll talk about it.
The Discord is more just like people who watch us on the Patreon to hang out and talk and stuff, and we can also talk and shit. But yeah, I feel like we need to start doing like 2 people Patreon stuff or like 3 people Patreon stuff. So, like,
Yeah.
Me and Michael, funny guy Michael.
You want to do like a little fucking playthrough or something?
Do like a
have
do
content?
Like a soul link. We gotta make something, dude. They're paying for something. They gotta pay for something.
I have time now, so now I have time to give things like my time.
But now we're actually
make
doing
sense.
Patreon stuff now. So
What if we give all the money to Michael while he's unemployed, and then he's getting paid to run the channel?
Oh, I'd be
I
down
don't-
for that.
I'm not down for that. What the fuck?
Hey, Michael, you want $30 a month?
I mean, like, I can edit the podcast. I can make the content for the Patreon.
I'm fine with editing. Anyway, thank you to the Patreons, Crazy Carlton, Ken Marker,
Don't want
Paul,
the money.
Professor Gems, Ryan, and Turja for subscribing to the Patreon as well as everybody else.
Yes!
Speed running because we've been going for an hour and 40 minutes.
Yep.
This is fun.
You're the guy that wanted to do it at 2 hours.
I'm fine with going for 2 hours, but we have decided we want to end. So I'm fine with it. It's my own.
You already said
I
the
will never
stick.
be okay with 2 hours. That is too long for me to sit.
My brain would probably explode. My brain already explodes at like 45 minutes every week, so like, I don't know about 2 hours, big dog.
I hope you enjoyed our ramblings of thing, but might not be right.
Yes.
And also us like interrupting each other for fucking 2 hours.
Thank
I
you
felt like I
all.
couldn't get a word in sometimes, dude.
Just
I'm
yell
getting
over
crazy.
us. Just yell over us.
Among Us, someone.
Huh?
It's too early for this shit. Anyway, thanks for watching.
Bye-bye!
Bye.
Bye.